If you'd like a brighter home, today's the day. I'll show you how to brighten up your home easily by installing LED wafer lights safely with all the tips you need to know. Homeowners love them. Why? Because they're energy efficient, because they're so easy to install. This is the entire light. So find out how you can avoid the #1 mistake that I see homeowners make when they install them can be solved with this simple connector. The first thing we're gonna do is cut a hole in our ceiling with a hole saw. All you need is a drill and a hole saw. I'm using a 4-inch light, so I have this size correctly. Also link to everything I'm using today in the description. I know 6-inch is also popular, so I'll have them there. And I've actually used a laser level just to line everything up perfectly. There's a drill bit in the center here. And so we're just gonna line it up with the center of where we want our light. Biggest tip I can give you is to make sure you have your drill in reverse. Hold it firmly, but don't apply too much pressure. You don't want too much muscle and let your drill bit do the work. It's also a good idea to have glasses on. And I'm gonna go in reverse very gently. What we've got there is a great looking circle. When you're finished drilling the hole, you just want to make sure that you're not actually touching the hole saw itself because it actually gets really hot. And to release it, put it upside down and pull the trigger and it will fall out on its own, and we're good to go now with the install. Before you cut a lot of holes, you want to make sure that there is nothing in behind. So I just have the camera light on my phone right here. This is what I was looking for. That is why you use your camera. I use that for everything. What do I have here? Ready to go is my wire. The first thing we're going to do is grab a non-contact voltage tester, and it doesn't matter if you're an electrician or a homeowner or a contractor, you always want to test your wires first because look at this. That tells me that the wire is live, and that is why you always double check. Because sometimes when you do a renovation, people assume that the power is off, and we never assume anything, especially with electrical. So I'm gonna turn off the power right now. It's a little darker in here now because I had to turn off the power, and this is kind of a mess here. So I'm just gonna start fresh with a cut. What we're gonna do is pull down our wire and then cut into the sheathing. I'm just gonna pull it back now. It's important when you do this that you don't cut into your wires, of course. That is very important. I'm just gonna pull my wires up now, and I'm gonna cut off the rest of this, and I'm pulling it up so it's out of my way. And now we're just going to expose the wire to make our connections. We're just going to take our clines, and this is also a great tool to have. And you can see they're marked. So they just have little markings for the gauge of the wire. We're just going to take the 14 and line it up because this is a 14-2 wire. And we're going to clip it and twist it, and then oh, look at that. It pops off so easily. I even had way too much force for that. So there is our white, there is our ground. And with our black, I pop that off. That is really all there is to it. You just want to make sure that your wires are nice and clean and that you haven't cut into the wire itself. So with that off, we're just going to get our junction box. The LED wafer lights have similar junction boxes like this. Here on the side, you're going to lift it up. And these connections right there, do you see these? These are what we call a quick connect system. And they all are essentially quite similar. You see that? That's just where you're gonna stick your wire inside, and we just really wanna knock that off. You're just gonna stick your screwdriver into the hole and peel it back. Boom, like that. Okay. Now here is the biggest mistake right now that homeowners do. Over time, if you put your wire into an electrical box that has exposed metal, it can cut through your wire and actually cause a fire hazard. But it's really easy to fix this. All we're gonna do is use the connectors. These actually don't come with these junction boxes. You can buy a bag of them. There's usually about 10 in the bag for about $3. Take our connector and push it in. You wanna make sure that where you had the knockoff connected, that sharp piece of metal, you want to make sure that that is completely covered by the plastic. What I'm going to do now is fish the wire, and all you do is hold that in, just feeding the wire through. In electrical, no matter what you're doing, is to always do your ground first. We're just going to put our copper wire into the hole, and you're just gonna push it in. Feel that when it locks. So the same thing, I'm just gonna insert it and push it in. It's super simple. Our hot. That is a good connection. Now, if you're doing a series of wafer lights, that means many in a row, you're actually gonna have your other wire coming in, and you are gonna connect your white to your white, your black to your black, your ground as well. So I'm just gonna tuck everything into your junction box. Now, once they are all tucked in, we're just gonna close our lid. That in to the ceiling. So all we do is line it up here with this harness, And this is plastic and it's threaded, so you just want to be very careful when you thread this. In terms of the install, it's super simple. We're just going to lift up on these springs and you want to be careful. The brand that I'm using is actually a really good quality compared to some of the other ones that I've seen. And the biggest difference with quality is in the construction of the springs. It's a stronger gauge metal. One of the springs is going in and I'm going to just push the other one in. And look at that, that's great. It's nice and snug. It looks great. See that? There's no gaps, and that's what you want. I've never cared so much about springs except for these lights. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below. I am on to the next one now. If you'd like to do more wiring around your home, I'll give you all the links down below so you can do that. Thank you so much for watching.